There we go. Hey, Vampire Logan here. We are playing D&D tonight. Eve of Ruin, episode 16. And I'm going to be trying to talk a little bit quieter. Go ahead, Jess.
Welcome all.
ASMR episode.
Now, last week we did do something that we kind of left undefined. Not sure if everyone recalls, but we did talk about how to get the lodestone into the future. And
Yes.
did anyone put some thought into that? I realized I left it kind of amorphous and then didn't really follow up. So, yeah.
No,
We
knew what we were
totally
doing.
came up with a way, and you even said it worked. But it was supposed
so
to
it
be...
does work. It does work, but I was just wondering if you guys prepared like a flashback for it, because like...
Oh?
Yep, okay. So maybe I didn't make that clear enough. Yeah, I'll take that.
Wait, what?
So I suggested at the time that we start this session with a flashback to how the lodestone was dropped off and recovered.
Okay.
But then I didn't follow up on it, and that's my bad. So we won't do any of that. But it would be interesting to see that play out. Do you guys want to do that live?
Sure.
Cool.
I said sure, but there's no way Fallon is going to be the one that's in charge of this. So honestly, my opinion is pretty irrelevant.
For clarification on this, because we didn't do a full recap here, we ended up planning on sending some things to a quote-unquote future, our original time. Yep. The lodestone being the one primarily, but we decided to send other couple things through, and it was decided because no one else has family that they would know of during this time or any other good ideas, that it would be Acacius's long-standing, elven, half-elven area that we would put this at. Now, keep in mind that Acacius is not currently with the party, and so this is Cora, Fallon, Shabaka, Sasha, and Ramses that need to decide how they're going to best approach getting these items in the safekeeping of Acacius's family without completely freaking them out that they will have a grandson or something in the far future, but also explain enough to just not touch it, don't talk about it, whatever.
And not mention it to
anyone.
Yeah, ever. Anyone during the time in question.
Yeah.
And don't move.
Well, Acacius knows they don't move because they've lived there for a while and he was born there. Like he knows at least that much. And then on the flip of that, then in the quote-unquote future, our current time, the other party, Celine, Jules, Hep, Hanan, and Acacius going to pick it up.
Yes, indeed. Okay. So, describe their home.
So, at the current time, it is a sea port. It's not a very large one. It's one of those more villagey types that tend to get targeted by pirates, actually. So they tend to have places hidden. They know where to keep things away. Acacius himself knows about some of the more historic pirate issues that they have had. Despite the somewhat terse waters that there are around, it's very scenic. And it's one of those places that is like the Florida for people. They settle down, and despite the hostilities of the environment, they're like, yep, this is our home.
Is it on the Sword Coast?
Yeah, it is.
If it is, they may have some exposure to the whole Glaucus debacle that happened a number of years back as well.
Yeah, that would have been a good thing as well. Yeah.
We should be like, hey, what's up? We just killed Glaucus. Could you hold this for us?
We didn't kill Glaucus. I guess we kind of... Did we?
Yeah, we finished her off. Him.
Bye-bye.
So they're not unfamiliar to strangers being in and out of the town. If people are heading to, say, Waterdeep or another part of the Sword Coast, south of that or north of that, people could stop there if they need to restock on short notice, things like that. And now, do they expect a huge ocean ships? No, but every so often such a ship arrives, and hopefully they're not hostile.
Those are exactly the types of villages that Glaucus was extorting from.
Yeah, so there we go. Perfect, wonderful. So his grandparent, that Acacius would prefer that you approach, is the elf of the grandparents, because the other one
that makes
probably
sense.
won't be alive. So he can at least direct you to basically his grandma. And
Gram.
I mean,
Gram.
whether or not there's many elves is up to DM Fiat at this point, but there's at least a lot of half elves.
Yeah.
And because they tend to not be, at least in D&D lore, not really accepted by humans nor elves. They're neither.
You can ask Sasha about that too, but yeah, it's
Well,
that's okay.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Do you have a name for them?
The grandparent?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sorry. I clicked on everything but the correct thing.
It'd be like that.
Status quo.
It is Ilyana. I will type it. Ilyna. So, Ilyana, and then his last name is not the same as his grandparent because they come from the male line, but the first name is Ilyana.
Okay.
He doesn't know his grandma's maiden name. I'ma be real. So if she isn't married by now, he might not know it.
Which, I mean, she probably isn't, considering
Yeah.
her husband will be human.
Her husband will be human, so yeah. But appearance-wise, it's not too far off. I mean, Acacius is vaguely Asian-leaning man. So you're looking for like a willowy, pale, dark-haired woman elf in a town that is not that large, and he knows the address essentially. So just show up to the right place and pray.
Yeah.
Hey,
Honestly.
Ramsey's good at that part.
Selena will
Cool.
pray with you from the future.
It's all faith, man. It's all faith.
So, given that the second half of this encounter is likely to be Acacius heavy, who wants to start the conversation in dropping off the
Not Fallon.
stone?
Have fun.
Do you want the most awkward person to do it? I'll do it.
It'll be entertaining.
Ramses,
Yeah.
Ramses
Right?
and Sasha. What are you guys feeling?
I'm thinking Sasha because my charisma does not warrant that they are going to trust me too much.
Yeah, but you're a nice boy.
I am.
Sasha
My
is
persuasion
half
isn't
elf,
bad.
So maybe that's good.
Fallon and Shabaka are literally the worst choices
Yes, we should not
possible. So we shouldn't. Fallon and her -1, her 0 charisma and anger issues.
Sasha's not practicing the arts of persuasion, but he has a decent charisma.
Oh.
Well,
okay.
then, as the conversation goes on, others chime in so that they can distribute the
angst,
the benefits,
roles.
and get
Benefits?
advantage.
Okay. Do we know?
Actually, just for the record, at the end of this, I'm probably not going to make you roll unless you really screw up.
Which is why we're making
So this
Sasha and Ramses do it.
Yeah. Like this is not like you failed the roll. I guess we'll just kind of call the campaign here. That doesn't seem like a great idea. So
Fallon and Shabaka are quite literally the definition of raised by wolves.
Yeah,
Pretty
That would
much.
be hilarious. I'm sorry, you guys failed the campaign.
Excuse me, I'm raised by penguins.
Sorry,
Yeah.
was that a 14? You needed a 15. Game over.
Game over. Okay, what do you guys want to play now?
Yep. So yes, start us off.
Settlers of Catan, here we go.
So just before we do, because Ramsey's going to need to know something other than half elf and Acacius's family, maybe.
Yes. Sasha's gonna be like, all right, so tell me about your world.
How do we know this about Acacius, by the way?
He can speak
told
to you
us.
through the
You
veil.
can speak to Acacius in the mansion.
So
Yeah, we
so
Maybe we could get clued in
While
by
we're-
Acacius.
while we're in the mansion, I'll just ask Acacius. Acacius, what is something that I could potentially, anything that you know of their history that would make them believe that we know we know what we're talking about. We know something of their future based on something you might know. It's difficult time
She-
telling you.
She
I'll tell
once
with the-
traveled to Neverwinter just to prove it was winter, Neverwinter.
Sorry, to prove that it was
What?
it was winter in
But
Neverwinter.
Winter did come to
She-
Neverwinter.
Yes, she's very pedantic.
That's excellent.
I love that for
Um,
her.
Do you know
that
if they're
sounds like-
religious at all?
No,
No, they aren't.
no,
Or
we're
no, you
not
don't
religious.
know.
guys. The only goddess they worship is the ones that they try to make sure they don't get a tsunami.
Ah,
So sea gods?
Yes,
I'll
I'm
respect
sure
that.
you've heard of. Well,
Umberly?
No, I have not. Clue me in.
yeah, Umberly.
No. Who dat?
Umberly is a goddess that people only worship out of fear of her.
I'm like,
They, she's very destructive. She's particularly petty. And if a hound doesn't offer things to her, she might destroy them.
Take Filbert.
yeah,
I'm
kind of like
sorry.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
All right, go back to sleep. We're good.
I mean, she is known as the bitch queen, by the way.
The bitch
We
queen.
don't say that around here, so please don't say that in front of my
Rude.
grandma.
Of course
Chewbacca
not.
would never say that. So
That's one way to
obvious.
ensure the weather gets bad.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's no other sea gods?
Well, there's
Well, Glaucus.
yes, yes.
As established.
Thinking of one in particular.
Something.
Or there were. Yeah, there were other sea gods.
Yeah, there are others. I mean, Talos, storms.
Poseidon.
Well, Poseidon.
How about this? This would be another question. Was their house ever decimated by the storms or by the seas that you know of?
No, it was up higher.
Huh.
Not that much can stop a tsunami, but with elf
but
comes elf money.
but faith can.
From my knowledge, no. The house was never
Excellent.
destroyed.
We
Everyone's
sh-
got a Sammy sandwich.
It
should
is a
leave-
generational home. It stayed within her family.
Excellent.
Okay, generational home, stay within the family. How
That's all pretty much all Ramses needs.
Yeah, that sounds like you've got a lead there.
Yeah.
Something to work with.
If
there
this
anything
is-
special about the home?
If that's before the time of troubles, by the way, it could be Valkyr. He's a good sea god.
This was the time of troubles. You were literally standing in them.
Yeah.
Because Valkyr did have an avatar in the time of avatars.
All the gods had avatars at this point.
Yeah.
They walked the earth, and many of them died. But I can't actually speak to how many of them. Multiple of them died.
Is there anything special about the house, like maybe a secret worship room or a specific door that has someone's name carved in it, or how people when they're growing up they like draw lines on a wall to see how high they are, or at a certain age, anything like that you can draw or mention. That would...
Cassius's immediate brain is to be like, why would you ask that? And realize, oh wait, it's actually necessary. Almost every long-standing home in that area has a hidden room or location. It's just necessary to keep your valuables.
Okay.
And it's not going to be made of wood. Nothing that can be burned, whatever that location is.
Well, that's a good
It'll be
location.
behind something that can't burn.
So in the cellar, generally.
Did we ask what your grandmother's name was?
Ilyana.
Ilyana.
Any special nicknames you have for anybody?
For my dad, I guess.
Would her dad be born by this time?
No.
No.
Where was your dad
But if you
born?
wanted to suggest a nickname, it might stick.
Right.
Yeah. My father was born in the same town.
In the house, at a midwife's place, at the church.
I didn't ask where he was conceived, and I didn't
we
ask
don't-
where he was born either.
Jesus Christ.
That said born.
Yeah, I
Born.
don't think we need to focus on her father if he hasn't been born yet.
Who doesn't even exist yet? Yeah.
We're not trying to influence the future.
Oh,
for the most
all
part.
right, well, I'm trying to get a handle on, trying to
Why don't we
convince
just
others that
tell her-
we're legit, right?
Yeah,
Why don't-
that's
Why don't we just tell her we killed Glaucus?
well. To say that you killed Glaucus, like that is we killed Glaucus. Now we want to hide a bunch of stuff in your house.
No, that actually might
Mhm.
work. She's, like I said, very pedantic.
I mean, Glaucus is dead.
We didn't actually
Good.
kill Glaucus.
No, we didn't.
So,
Well, technically.
We killed the bug.
You were there for her death.
Yeah.
would Glaucus's grandmother be glaucoma?
No, that's
Probably
that's
related.
where she is right now.
Linguistically, it's
glaucoma.
probably related. To call back to the earlier
Yeah, I don't think
conversation.
Glaucus saw it coming.
We killed Glaucus's heart, technically.
that critter that was in there.
Yeah. Yeah, but I didn't know if that was actually its heart or if that was just
Kind of.
something that was eating its heart,
technically.
making it look like it was still beating.
No.
And heartworms.
Heartworm.
Undefined. I don't think you guys ever found the literal answer to
Yeah.
that question.
Yeah. Okay.
Or
This
we
is
could
gonna
just
be
like give them money. That usually helps.
Sure.
That is
What was
one
the
way.
direct answer?
Like coins minted from a certain location?
I don't
As
know.
long as
just
it doesn't have that
bribery
vampire's head on it.
technically works.
Correct.
Yeah.
I can pull out my coin collection that's from around the world.
You guys have? Think you have enough history to
If
go
we
on? You
need
want to
it.
start the conversation?
I think Ramses is good.
Cassius solves that for you because he just walks away.
Yep.
Okay.
Fallon is also walking in the other
Because-
direction.
He's very much thinking about the fact he wanted to communicate to his family his entire time what happened to him, and he knows he can't without messing with the timeline now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, and so he can't fall into temptation by communicating that to you guys, so he's just out of there.
Right?
Yikes.
Yeah.
Got what you need to do.
Ramses just wants to know just enough, but not too much.
Gotcha. Yeah, makes sense.
Sounds good. Okay, so you roll up on this place. How do you want to
Wait.
approach?
Police, warrant service.
Yeah. Not that.
Knock like a normal person.
Boom, boom, boom. Or clap or whatever the custom is.
I was actually going to take a little. So who's all going to the house?
I mean, we can all
I'll
I
go.
mean, everybody who's in the past
Yep.
can contribute there. All
Okay.
of.
Fallon hangs
That's-
back, but she's there just in case.
Okay. I was actually going to go more on the celestial side, so I'm going to knock on the door, wings
Do you
out,
want
radiant glow.
Do you want
on.
Do you want to wait outside and observe a little bit and listen before we knock?
No.
Like fucking creeps.
No.
No, Ramses doesn't.
Okay.
If you guys
Cool.
want to listen, you can.
No. Quick question. The lodestone, what size is it?
Let's see.
Don't remember.
Bigger than a grapefruit. But
It's a
not
big
that
lodestone.
much bigger. Smaller than volleyball.
Okay, so it's not like heavy.
No,
You feel
it's
a
like
volleyball-sized lodestone is friggin' heavy.
a volleyball.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
okay,
bigger
then
than. A
I'm
grapefruit,
assuming
smaller than a-
Fallon is carrying it then.
Sure.
And it's not round either. It's kind of like kind of like a rectangle with like one pointed end and one indented end. So it's kind of got the general shape of an arrow.
Okay. Fallon is, I'm assuming, holding it because she is strong.
Strong.
Colin can hold it in one hand.
Hell yeah.
You
Spin
hold
it
that
on one
grapefruit.
finger.
She's just standing there holding it in one hand, like,
It's like Michael Jordan with a basketball.
Yeah,
this is
I'll sit
my
back and
job.
forth like it's nothing.
She's like, this is my job. Stand here with it in my hand.
I hold the heavy thing. Yep.
Yep.
I reach the tall shelves.
Hey, that's Hep's thing.
6'6".
Don't take away Hep's only job.
Cool. Okay, so yeah, approaching the front door, you get a greeting. The door opens, and a woman is there. She's willowy, pale, with long hair, and she's an elf.
Does she
I
look
will
the right
say-
age?
Yes.
Are you Ileana?
Her brow furrows as she looks at you. Yes. What do you want?
And once again, I'm in celestial.
Right.
radiant form.
Okay. So,
Right.
it's more awestruck. Then it's a bit more like, yes, of course.
I was guided here by the heavens. I go. We've been tasked with keeping some items safe, and we have declared that this house will be safe and sacred to keep these things here. I know it's a bit of an ask, but those above would like you to keep some items, to not investigate them, to not talk about them, but to keep them safe. For some time in the future, your future generations are going to require them.
This is a test of your faith.
Well, I don't
And
know.
the promise that I can
moved here to the sea to get away from things like this.
Well, the promise that I can give you is that the sea and the storms will not affect your home, which is not something that at this time we can give to everyone.
Oh. Okay, well, no, there is a roll here. This is
You lied.
This is not a success failure roll, but this is a partial success, partial failure roll.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay.
Never good when I have to roll.
Nope.
I just love that Fallon's like, why don't we bribe her? And Ramsey says, like, the heavens sent us to you.
Yeah.
Right?
It's also hysterical because Ramsey says this, and then behind him is just the most ragtag group of freaks you will ever see.
And we're gonna go with persuasion.
Tempted to
Okay.
take one of his more unique coins and put it someplace where no one's going to look for it.
There's enough truth in there that I'm gonna go persuasion over deception. The knowledge that the house actually isn't destroyed, that's helpful.
I do love you being like, we'll
How about a
protect the
nat
house.
20? Will the nat 20
Sweet,
do it?
okay, yep.
Holy shit, Ramses. Fuck yes.
Yes.
That is so good.
Yes.
Oh, thank you. We've been worried for years here. Well, I mean, honestly, people have come, or beings have come to our shores and threatened us, and it's always been so scary. Us and the others in this area have gathered together what we could. We were thinking of moving so that we could keep our vegetables and our fish to ourselves. Are you saying that this is going to stop for us?
This is going to stop. If you are feared of Glaucus is no more.
Yes, and we are. Oh
Well,
my.
He's dead.
You will never need to worry of him again. Her again.
Well then, what can we do?
Wow.
You
And
have
I'll
shown
say
us such
that's
natural
what we've got.
20ness. We just
That's
owe
what we've
you.
Right?
Yep.
Such natural 20ness.
we need a space hidden within your home that should not be disturbed for how many years are we thinking?
100 and something.
It's like 130 minimum.
Until somebody
Yeah.
comes to until someone comes to fetch it. I don't fucking
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, so we'll
But
make
it will be a long time.
mystical, like for a century plus a decade plus a century plus a
Yes.
decade.
Until
Something
one of your future generation specifically asks for it.
Yes. Yes, one of your future grandchildren will actually ask for these to be returned. But until then, they must stay hidden from everyone.
Yeah, 133 years, literally, if you want to give them the exact time.
There you go. I will. Yeah, 103 years from this day.
133.
Oh, 133 years from this day.
Yep.
Gives the wrong.
One of your grandchildren will come
Acacius
and
walks
ask for
in
this.
and his grandma's like, "Oh, I
What's up,
know what
Gran?
this is
You're
about."
30 years late.
Years late, Acacius is like 27.
Yeah.
He was not even. Wrong grandkid.
Of course, we'll protect these items. This stone will protect this, and this armor. And what's this?
There
Okay,
are
sure.
multiple. There are definitely multiple items, but they will be required in the future.
Of course.
And we'd
I
ask
hope.
that, yeah, one of
I
the
hope
things
this will
was
never turn into an ill omen for us. If so, then
It
it
shouldn't.
will not.
well, all bets are off.
I don't
It
see
will
why
not.
it would.
Very well. I will keep your stone and your things for as long as I'm able.
Quick question.
Well,
Jess, is the game supposed to be active? Because I don't know. I didn't see the roles, and I don't know if there's supposed to be a map or anything up for me. I don't see.
It's just even
It's
ruin.
active.
Okay, just asking.
So you click the little die down in the corner, it'll pop up the
Yeah,
log.
the game log will pop
No,
up.
it's
and
up.
see
It's
Ramses'
just
roll.
not showing your roll.
The Ramses
Oh.
roll?
Yeah,
It's
it
right-
just
right there
shows
for me.
last week's rolls.
Weird.
That's it.
Okay.
Refresh.
You might need to reload your page.
Maybe.
Yeah. I definitely see it.
Me too.
okay, good,
Okay.
because I don't roll natural
It won't
20s
be
often, and that
less,
was a
my
great
lady.
Oh
one.
no, I saw that natural 20 was fucking great.
Yep.
It couldn't have come at a better time.
Nope.
So
Cool. Okay. So, is there anything else you'd like to ask of them?
Oh, there it is. Yep.
No,
tell me, be well and be blessed, my lady. And I'll kind of defer to to my compatriot here as if I were his one of his guards, like because he's a paladin, such as a paladin. So
You're like
Paladin's
a
just
herald
really
or something like
bored
that.
behind them.
yes.
And Ramses, hovers off, floats off down the road.
Clump, 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 clump. Here we go.
Colin's holding the lodestone. She's like, "Where do you want this?"
She does not show you the stone fireproof area that Acacia just mentioned, but she basically says, "I'll take it." And
Just pinch yourself. It's heavy. And just hands it over.
she receives it with two hands, and it's clearly heavier than she's thinking. She moves inside and quickly places it on a counter, shakes out her hands a bit because her fingers hurt. But then then she picks it up.
As soon as she takes it, Valen's like,
why?
Just has this pile. She has a book, she has a flute, she has a sword, she has some bracers, and a weird rock.
Yeah.
And there was a retcon, right, Ramses?
No, I actually sent something else. I noticed in the notes Cora took the half plate.
Oh, okay.
And Ramses would have actually taken it for himself. So he wouldn't have been dropping it off here.
Right, okay. Gotcha.
And actually if this helps you with keeping it safe and protected, Ramses also gives her 100 gold.
Yeah,
well,
bribery.
I won't say no to it.
Wait, your future money will work in the past?
Gold.
Gold is gold.
It's gold.
Gold.
Yeah.
It doesn't. You can just melt it down. Like
What's this electrum crap? What am I doing with this?
I didn't give her electrum. That was nice.
We just give her like 600 electrum. We're like, here, please, and she's like, fuck no.
And invested in
no one wants
apples.
our electrum.
Okay, just for the record, electrum has Strahd's face on it, and so like.
Yeah. How about instead some gems, Ramses?
Timeline affecting. Yeah.
Sure.
But I think you said 100 gold, right? Just regular 100 gold.
Yeah.
Do you want to put any special coins in that, just in case?
No.
I'm sorry.
No,
Like,
I think
there are coins that are notable that I have. We could seed that 100 gold with, just in case we need to have. Remember, have a specific object in the same place.
Accidentally have a future
fine.
collectible in this person's.
Well, if you want to just give him a gem, that's fine.
No,
Well, I'm
100 gold
more
is
suggesting
fine.
for Sasha specifically. But
Oh yes,
yes, ma'am,
No, I
you can
agree.
also have these, and she gives her 4 quartz. They're worth 50 gold pieces each.
There you go.
Yeah, I think you missed my point. Okay.
Well, I totally would have done this just for the favors that you've shown me and for the ongoing good of my house, but
We're
I will
giving
totally
you this
take
for the
these.
Yes, we're giving you this for the favor you are showing us.
Not to mention if you'd like to add more expansions on your house, or perhaps made whatever room that you have found suitable for this more durable.
Well, we were thinking of adding a room for a child.
Might be a good
This
time
should
for
pay
that.
for that.
A larger bed for a husband, even. She nods her head and walks away.
Wow.
Valen's already like gone. She got bored. I went to the lodestone and she was like, I don't want to be here anymore. This place is boring.
She is trying to make a fast walk look like a model walk as she's going after Valen.
Valen's like almost back at the door of the mansion, basically.
Okay, cool. All right, we'll wrap this encounter there. You guys leave and find your way back to the door to the mansion and walk out of there.
Sashay away.
But then on the other side, the recovery of the stuff. I presume Acacius is going to take the lead for this.
No, it's going to be even funnier.
Nope.
It's even funnier if it's not, imagine.
I was gonna say, it'll be hip. I got
Celine with
this.
her -1.
Yeah. So I need you to charm my grandmother.
Oh,
Can
okay.
you do that?
Got it.
Wait, what?
Does she have
Make
any
sure
tall
she
bookshelves?
likes you. Sorry? Tall bookshelves. Yes.
Yes. I'm good at that.
You are, Hep. You're very good at that.
Does
Also, you might meet my sister. Pay her no mind.
do either
Why-
of them
what?
drink?
Why would you?
You didn't
No,
say you had a
no.
sister.
Back up. Why would you not be going?
I'm going.
No, totally.
Oh.
Acacius is doing
Okay. What the fuck?
It's just this is the first time that you have met my family, and that's a big step.
this. Yes, and you never mentioned you had a sister.
Well, I did. To be fair, I did.
Celine, he definitely did. Celine looks at Hep really seriously.
There was a ball
You
of
just said you didn't
his
mention you had a
attention.
sister.
I definitely
did.
did.
A few times.
Okay.
Ugh.
So as you approach the place, are you all approaching together or
Might as well.
what?
Cord-
Might as well.
Acacius
Wait.
has no reason to hide in his own generational home.
So we've
These
switched
are
to
my
the other
people.
group now.
Acacius definitely approaches. Like, but is everyone else walking up with them, or off to the side, or hanging back, or?
What the hell? Why not?
Celine's like, Jules, you will be on your best behavior.
Oh, what? I am always on my best behavior.
That's your best behavior.
No! Hep, you will also be on your best behavior.
Come on now.
What do you mean?
Okay.
I would be wounded if that was brought up about me.
It wasn't. I didn't say Hanan. You're
Oh,
fine.
yeah, no. But Hanan says that out loud to the other guys.
Yeah, well,
Hmm.
Take it. Let's kick this off. Ring the doorbell.
Ding
No,
dong.
I'm walking in.
Oh, you saunter
Okay.
in.
It's my house.
Yep.
I'm not ringing the doorbell of my own house. I'm walking in like I own the place.
Hi, Mom, can I bring my friends in? No.
And
You're
so
found-
who lives in this house now?
Currently?
It's larger than it was in the past, and there's
It
like
was.
more rooms. So your parents, you grew
Yeah.
up here.
It's like a
Yeah.
Winchester mansion.
Atlas is his dad. His mom is Sophie. Or no, his mom is Miriam, and his sister is now Tira. Your name used to be Sophie, which is why I got baffled there. The grandma
yeah, it
still
confused me
lives
too.
here. And there is a aunt involved as well, but she doesn't stick around that often because it's kind of, people in the house, and she has the same personality as grandma. She has to
Okay.
prove things wrong because she can.
How's grandma doing at this point in her
mean,
life?
She's doing
An elf,
fine.
so
She's a
she's
full elf.
fine.
She's fine. She's not had any health maladies. She's only gotten more willing to prove people wrong, which is why Acacius remembers that. It's sitting there like, she's like, you actually can't put a +4 on a +2 in Uno. You can't stack +2s on Uno. She's like that kind of person.
Well, that
Any
sucks.
stage
That's
plays
fun to
on
do.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah. But I mean, you get used to it. The sorts of she's not exactly a rule follower as much as she just has to tell you she knows what the rules are. But yeah, so
Gotcha.
it's pretty much okay. There have been some, considering Acacius was technically like missing from when he was like, I don't know, 13 to 27, like
Yeah.
somewhere around there. There was some, every single time he comes back, they're like, he's actually alive still. There's some sort of like happy shock.
Oh yeah, Mom and Dad are thrilled that you're here, and like are just like
my
doting on
baby!
you, and want to make you dinner, and your friends should come in, and everyone is welcome here and stuff like that. Your grandmother's a little bit more standoffish, though. She's she thinks your parents dote on you a bit too much, and maybe that's why you ran away. maybe
I
why you were
think
gone for so
Ron.
long. And so maybe she's a little bit more standoffish. Does that ring true for you?
I feel like it actually, since if we think about what Ramsey said about the home will never be affected
Mhm.
from the issues with the gods and goddesses, Acacius went missing in a situation involving heavy storms
Mm.
and
Oh.
pirates.
now you
so there
tell me
could
that,
be a
thanks.
level of blame. Acacius wouldn't have fucking said it.
So the home is fine, but the Acacius went missing. That's like a bit of a bait and switch on the.
Yeah.
Hey, he said the home would be fine.
The
And,
home
and
was
look,
fine.
Acacius is here now, and he's in one piece.
Hey, I just want to say, if we ever get to the future, I need you to be able to back me up here that it wasn't my fault.
Celine, by the way, is absolutely delighted with Acacius's family.
Okay, so that whatever
So
happened
is him.
there
He's like,
resolved
hey, I
itself
love food.
a while ago. Like
So
not
Joey.
long ago, but
Yes.
but this is not the first time they've seen you. So I think that would change the
That would be
reaction though. I
wild.
think she's still really happy that you're here.
Mhm.
And yeah, probably I think when Acacius returned home, it probably relieved a lot of guilt on her part. Where maybe she blamed herself for the deal she made to keep the house safe when it didn't keep its occupants safe. But that is all resolved now. But she still feels great relief when you return. Does that ring true?
That would be, yeah,
Gotcha.
absolutely.
Sounds good.
Because
go
yeah,
with
that
that.
feels very like God dealing. Be like you bartered for immortality, not eternal youth.
Right. Yep. But then it went wrong, and then it got fixed again. So everything is fine now, but she still has the nervous energy that it almost went wrong.
So is she talking much now, or is she just kind of like, nervously just standing about?
She's let's see. She's still leaving room for mom and dad to do most of the welcoming home, but she does give you a smile and say hello and stuff like that, but she doesn't stand up from her activity at the table.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not
What
sure
is-
what that is.
Yeah,
The
of
crossword
course.
puzzle?
He's doing puzzles.
We would be glad to join you for dinner, Mom and Dad. These are my friends. I have yet to introduce them. When many things went wrong, these are people that I could rely on. I'd be glad for you to meet them.
Well, any friend of Acacius is a friend of ours. Come in. We're going to let's see. I think we need to call in a favor. I think we're gonna need to get the special treatment from the town hall that they owe us for these last few years when we haven't used it.
Bessie, our pig, we named it.
Oh,
was just gonna
you
say.
don't have to do something like that. I mean,
Pep
Oh,
pulls a pig out of his backpack.
right? He says, you gritted teeth looking back. Right?
Right.
We're a small community, but it's tight, and everyone here does their part. Everyone in this town has the ability we contribute to each other's successes and failings, and we help each other out. And
Yes, Mom, I
every
know.
year, there's something left over for each of us. Some special celebration. Now, it's been almost 2 years since we cashed ours in and took our turn. It's right that we should do so, and I can't think of a better time to do it. And it's not an imposition. This is part of what living in this community is. So I hope you will join me, but we're going to have some pretty nice fish on the fry tonight.
I love
It
fish.
will be abundant. Some neighbors will come by and say hi, but only as much as you are comfortable with, of course. But I think some of them would like to see you and meet your foreign friends.
Interesting group of friends.
He, despite his charisma,
Aw.
does not know what to say at the love of his mother. How? Well, he looks at the group and asks.
We would
We would be
Hep steps
delighted,
up and
madam.
goes,
My name
"Hi,
is
I'm Hep
my
and
name
we
is
love
Anand Degarn, and glad to make your acquaintance.
Hanan, it is great to meet you as well. Thank you so much for being part of the group that brought our son back to us.
Acacius has spoken so much of you. It feels like we know you.
Huh.
Celine will also be like, "Hello, I'm Celine. I'm very happy to be here. If you need help with anything with preparing dinner or anything like that, I'd be absolutely happy to help."
I wouldn't hear of it. You're our guest. And she leans conspiratorially towards you and says, like, I'm not going to have to do much either. The village is going to take care of this. Don't worry.
Oh. All right. If you're sure, I wouldn't mind. I like helping.
Well, then why don't you help me put up these decorations?
Of course. And Celine will help her do that. Celine likes helping.
They're
No.
little trinkets from around the house. None of them. They're not like particularly themed. They're not like what you'd think of as like Christmas decorations or Thanksgiving decorations or anything like that. It's more like just kind of some fancy stuff and some flowers and things like that. That you just like gives you some directions. And hang them around the room just to make things look a little bit more festive.
Or Acacius hides the baby foot, like in the paint, like for you, they put a stamp of
Right.
a baby foot on. He hides
Oh
it.
my god! I was like, sorry, the what? Yeah, like
when,
the stamp.
when babies get their feet stamped,
Yeah.
Oh,
he
I know what
hides
you're
that.
saying,
Yeah.
Jules steps forward and says, "And I am Jules." And
You
and
sure are.
he eyes up the decorations because they resemble string.
Jules looks at best behavior.
Yeah.
He's like,
Claws are like
Yeah,
they're flexing out and accidentally sticking into someone's leg. I don't know whose, but
and
yeah.
then he stops. Right.
Yeah. And I'm Hep.
Well, everyone, come in, have a seat. Can can I get you some seaweed wine?
Jules goes, "No thanks, I already
That would be
had something
delightful.
to drink."
Yes,
Of course.
I
that
think
would be
if we start
delightful.
visiting with Grandma, maybe some tea. I think I can start preparing something like that. And Acacia's like, woo, skirts off to get some water going.
Celine calls Hep over to have him hang up something that she can't reach.
100%.
A couple of guests show up that whose names you recognize but faces you don't. People from a long time ago that you met here, but you've lost contact with over the years. Somebody does come in with some seaweed wine. Who would like to partake of it?
I will try it.
Hep will.
Oh, Jules.
Okay, I want it.
Celine will
Constitution saves from both of you.
Glass, I suppose.
Well,
Got
the
it.
fact that he plans on using prestidigitation and make it taste like coffee, help any at all.
I think it's
Celine
alcohol.
takes a glass, but she
19.
drinks like it super slowly.
Mhm.
Sips at it.
15.
It is 15. Okay.
Oh,
But that
actually.
was with. Did you do the prestidigitation? I don't know what the VSM verbal, what the components are on that.
Prestidigitation is verbal and semantic, so I'm sure he has to say something like, bless this. And
Right.
like wave his hand over it and then drink it.
Sorry, I just rolled on Heps, but if I used the same roll on I just rolled on Ramsey. But if I
Ramsey's?
used the same
Yeah.
roll on Hep, it would have been 23.
Right. Okay. Yeah, both good. It looks like the people serving it to you are like they're like clearly like they got a big ear to ear grin. They're smiling. They're clearly waiting for something, and you don't give it to them.
Does Celine need to make a con save if she is drinking? Yeah, whatever. She'll do it.
Yes, but with advantage.
Okay.
For
Not
small
violent.
sips.
Ooh,
I
she's
hope you
not.
fail because I want to
Oofus.
know.
Well, it's not looking great so far. 1 second.
Oh, jeez.
Well, that's an 11.
Yeah, that's not enough. Yeah, you make like coughing noises, choke on it and stuff like that, and everyone is like, "Hooray! Ah!" And they like chuckle, and it's like not good for your love of humanity, but it is quite funny for the people that are there. Like nobody likes this stuff the first time, and they say kind of like, and then they're kind of like looking over their shoulder at Hanan and Hep, and it's like, well,
Just fucking downing it.
yeah.
Sorry, I have to say I've had worse.
Sounds like this isn't my first time.
Oh,
It's an
fun.
acquired taste, trust me, but yeah, you do get used to it.
One
Celine
I
also
knew to
is not a
avoid.
big drinker, so this was a
Yeah.
choice.
Acacius comes back with
Yeah.
the tray of like basically about to prepare tea for whoever wants to visit with his grandma. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. And he comes back with him saying, "One I know to avoid. They got me with it when I came back." And he walks towards his grandma.
Oh, fun. This is fun.
Give me cookies, please.
We have spun sugar.
Here you go.
He just gives you cotton candy, essentially.
Hey,
Oh, sticky. I like this.
you got it. Yep. Cool. So, the conversation and the group seem to be in full swing. People are going to be coming by for much of the evening. A lot of the people from the town are coming by, stopping in, not for very long necessarily, but each person is bringing a dish of some kind. Brings a dish, puts it on the counter, insists that everyone try it, hangs out for 20 minutes, half an hour, makes their announcement that they're glad to see you back, and off they go.
Will go out his way to make sure everybody feels welcome coming to the table, because just the kind of person he is.
Yeah, same with
I love how he's like making sure everybody feels welcome in a home that is not his, in a town that he does not live in, but all of these people do.
Strangers in it, right? And sometimes that can be awkward. So
I mean,
Exactly.
Acacius appreciates that you're making a good impression. He himself is a very black cat, don't like socializing much, but he will step out every so often to greet these people who have obviously prepared
It is
something.
expected. And
Yes,
they
so-
want to meet the whole group because you've returned with everyone who is like responsible. They're the new people in your life, and the new people in the life of this village, even if they're only here for a little while. They want to meet everyone, but yes,
Hanan better be
you
careful.
are expected to at least greet everyone who comes with a dish to the door.
why, you
Yeah,
think I'm
Hanan
gonna end up
better be
married or
careful.
what?
Yeah, because he's the only You might find someone pretty.
Oh, jeez.
So he can't be overly charming. He has to turn everybody off eventually.
The mothers are trying to introduce their young eligible daughters.
Oh boy, I got like 5 names and numbers for. Oh boy.
Yep.
Okay.
You're so friendly.
I hadn't gotten onto that, but you're absolutely right that is happening. Yes.
Selena's just finding anyone that she can help with something and offering to help.
Some chore to distract her.
She likes helping. It's how she makes friends. It's not going to be with her charisma.
Cool.
Hep
I'm
will help
sure.
as well as Hanan's taken all the glory. You need dishes done, I do dishes.
He can reach
I
very
mean-
high shelves.
Considering
put those away.
a human somehow pulled his grandma, help is not out of the question.
True.
Celine has her new glow up look. She looks cute as fuck, so.
She is cute.
Oh,
Acacius also is just gonna growl at anyone who comes by. He's like, you're not good enough
you
for her.
growl
I
at
know
someone
you.
who comes by, and immediately regret it because it's Ileana.
I wouldn't growl at my
Yeah.
grandma, yo.
Just like as you don't know who it is at first, but she like comes up behind you and you kind of like turn around, annoyed, and like immediately like she's very forgiving. She understands why you're annoyed at people. But
They were trying to hit on Celine, and that's just not acceptable. I'm very sorry, Oma.
no, it's I'm sorry. I myself have been very distracted this evening. Maybe we should have talked earlier. I didn't
Right.
put things together when you were here before on your own. But as I see you with this group, I wonder if we don't have something to talk about.
I did prepare tea.
I would love some tea.
Right. Acacius addresses the party goers, like to ask them to please excuse them, as the guests of honor are going to step away for a moment from a surprise that has been prepared, basically. You know, those sorts of things.
okay.
That's your cue to follow me.
Yes, you're coming with us, Hannon. Come on, even I got that
Okay.
one.
But
Or he's
fine.
Hannon's had a little too much of the
Well,
seaweed wine.
I guess if he doesn't want to see the super special awesome thing from something else, that's fine.
Never mind.
Celine is
Fine.
apologizing profusely to the people that she was helping out and has to to leave. She's like, I'm so sorry.
Right. Yes, Oma, we are. I've been aware of something now. I wasn't aware of it before, but I am now, and we're here to collect it. It being several things, perhaps? He says in a questioning tone.
Yes, a few. Though I'm afraid one less than you might be anticipating.
I'm sorry.
What?
Well, when
Don't tell me it was the book.
you went missing, I had a crisis. I thought I was to blame. I thought that was some kind of price for the safety we've lived with these years, that anyone who left would be risk. It's one of the reasons that I was so resistant to you leaving in the first place. I know now you have to find your own way, and clearly that has worked out, and I was mistaken, but one item at random, not the lodestone, has been destroyed.
Oh fuck.
Did you sacrifice it?
I did. So,
Don't
how
tell
many
me.
items were there?
There was the Tome of Understanding, the Pipes of Haunting, a Rapier +1, and the Bracelets of Defense. So 4 items.
Coins.
Make it 2.
Four
Make it the
fucking-
pipes. Make it the pipes.
Real good
fight.
items.
Or make it my coins.
Your coin. You
Okay,
said your
so-
coins forward?
I absolutely was trying to do that, but you kept on talking me down on it.
Wait, that was completely a different time. That was last session we were talking about the coins, not this session.
No, he
Oh,
just
it was-
said he wanted to do that.
Oh,
Section.
I mean that was
This
given
session.
to her. That would have been given to her. It was like to have, to own, is what we took that as.
Well,
So
no,
that's
I
probably
was.
why we were
all
talking
right.
you down.
No, but okay.
Well,
So,
what
it
did you
was-
intend?
The
Tome of
tome, the rapier,
Understanding.
the pipes, and the bracers.
Okay. Who wants to roll it?
No, thanks.
I'll do it.
I mean, 2 of the items are me, so
You want to?
actually 3 of them are technically mine.
Yes, I was
No.
gonna say a
Gonna
lot of
count.
them are
Doesn't really
you.
matter.
Yeah,
The
doesn't really matter.
odds are
You
going to
wanna do
work
it?
out the same for everybody.
I am
So-
so tense right now, so no thank you.
Captain
Shabaka,
Ramses have no
I'll do
skin
it.
in this game, so.
Okay,
Okay.
here goes.
Yeah.
Rolling it now. Oh.
3.
The pipes.
Oh, that is
Oh!
the pipes.
Oh!
Okay.
It is,
Right.
Oh, that's the one I was
That's-
okay with sending through.
that's
All
probably
right.
the best option of the 4. That is the
It
best.
really
roll.
is.
Yeah.
Cool.
They're super valuable, but they're not like
Form of understanding.
yeah,
Usable.
exactly. Yep.
Yeah, total understanding is invaluable.
That's
Yeah,
what
I
I
was
was
hoping
like. I was like, please.
And so
yes, I have the items you wish. I suddenly have so many questions. 133 years it was slow and it went by so fast. Does this mean our house is no longer safe?
I have no guarantee for that, but it has stood the test of time from this forward, and I would argue that it'll be safer now that I have put the circle in.
I'm not gonna explain to your grandma that Ramsey's fucking lied to her.
I would agree.
Lied? What do you
He
mean?
just doesn't know what Ramsey said to her.
Oh. What do you mean? What do you mean? You were like, yes, your house will be safe now.
Why,
Right.
who
I mean,
say-
I'm just trying to say something that will kind of be more soothing, right? To kind of allay the fears, the nerves.
I wasn't wrong.
No, but you implied that it was because of you.
Wasn't it?
Tell me, when you came upon these items, did they use a fear tactic on you or something?
Oh no. It
No,
made me into a monster.
You don't understand what it was like back then. We every few years we were tormented by some sea. Oh, it seems unlikely to call it a god now, but we believed it at the time. We'd come by and ask for labor or fish or money or anything like that. And
Oh, that looks cursed as fuck.
Yeah, totally.
we had to supply it, and yeah, no, relief from that is what we were offered, and it has been good.
Well, I'm glad of that, at the very least, but nothing can guarantee the future by this point. But I will reassure you that this town has stood the test of time. This home has stood the test of time, and it's only grown safer.
We're
This is
small.
why Fallon just
We're
wants
out
to
of the
fight.
way. If it doesn't come from the sea, it usually doesn't bother us.
Right. Acacius knows that far too well.
Ocean bad.
Ocean bad.
Ocean bad.
Very, very bad.
Very bad. Very
Well,
Okay, does anybody have anything else they'd like to accomplish at this village party?
Selena's
Still haven't met your
just
sister.
really excited
Nice.
about that book now.
Get some contact information, you know, just in case.
um,
I put
Conan's
the, I
looking to
put the
settle
image
down.
of the I put the image of the pipes on the stream.
Yeah,
She's looking
no
for-
wonder she destroyed
Creepy.
those ones. Holy crap,
Yeah,
they're
good
so
book.
creepy.
Those are cursed.
I mean, to be fair, Cora got them from Baba Lasaga or whatever her name is,
Yeah.
Oh,
Who
that's
was-
what it is.
and Cora couldn't use them because she can't play wood instruments. So she was like, whatever. She can't play.
woodwinds?
wind-
Seriously?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's like, I can't. And
It's
so
like
she's like, well,
fucking
a
flute.
bard probably can.
A flute is a wind. It's yeah, I guess it's a woodwind.
I meant to say just wind, but yeah, it's more like a bone wind. Let's be real.
It's a wind instrument because there's like the
Yeah.
woodwind that's like an oboe, isn't it?
I don't know.
Thought it was everything with a reed,
Yeah.
but I don't
Yeah.
know.
So, but an oboe has reed. Oboe has two.
Yeah, but I don't think a flute.
Saxophone.
Oh, a flute might not.
No, a saxophone is a brass instrument.
Yeah.
It is a brass, but it still has a reed.
Oh, jeez.
Whatever. I don't know
It
enough
does.
about music to argue about this.
I don't think this is going to be material for.
I don't know anything about
the next
instruments. I don't know
minister.
why I'm arguing this.
That's pretty quite funny.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Cool. So you
No,
have recovered. You have recovered the objects. They have traveled through time 133 years to be here. 4 out of 5 of them are in great shape and delivered on time.
You know, I don't blame Omar for destroying that. I really
Not at all.
don't.
No, they're horrifying.
Had you told me that you were lost at sea, I would have placed your mind at ease.
Well, that's none of your business, unfortunately.
Well, fortunately, it caused your grandmother grief, which Ramses would never want to do.
I mean, it would have
It's
anyway.
not like I wanted to
if your
anything to
grandchild
change
disappears
because
at
of it.
sea.
Because there's
Just looking
nothing
to
that
travel
would have.
with the family.
If you had tipped her off, it would have been completely different.
This is true. That could have tampered with the future for sure.
Could have.
And don't get me wrong, Ramses. If I could have changed it, I would have. That's why I studied
sure.
this magic to begin with.
Yes, the rest of us are mere dabblers, and I don't particularly like messing around with time.
Are we back in the mansion now?
You can be at any point here. You can leave
Yep.
the party.
Celine is so excited about this book, and she's reading.
Well, Hanan wants to catch a few deets.
He can do that. Selena's literally just standing there, standing in the middle of the party, reading this book now.
Mhm.
Yeah, so we can fade to black on that if you want. I mean,
I gotta admit, I'm kind of at a loss as to how to handle it.
Wait, are you trying to like get down, or are you just trying to get
No.
charming?
he's just being charming. That's all.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
He gets a couple
When you say fade
numbers
to
and
black,
he
that
bounces.
yeah, when you say fade to black, that implies something
That implies-
else,
Well,
my man.
But it can also cover like something that could be exceptionally boring to play out while everyone's like, "Oh, really? Come on, man, you're killing me."
I mean, Shabaka had an entire flirtation scene, and now she's living with us. So I'm going to say,
Yeah, they move fast.
It's
got-
it's the medieval times, right? You had to,
We've got
you had to,
Shabaka,
like, embrace life while you.
Yeah, you know,
The girl
you-
moved in immediately, and then you've got Fallon and Fallon and Cora, who have spent fucking months on end
Yeah.
dancing around each other.
Kaisera has her own room.
yeah, I know. I mean,
Yes.
But it's not that
I
far from
figured.
Shabaka's.
oh my
Actually,
god.
not when he's a little spider.
Oh my gosh.
Ugh.
Oh god.
Oh.
I think it's further if he's a little spider.
Yeah.
Oh, good point.
Depends if the little spider sneaks into the room or not.
No, please don't do that.
Shabaka
No.
wouldn't do that. He's already
No, Shabaka wouldn't do that
Awkward
at all.
Consent is key.
And spiders are freaky.
Yeah. She
Cool.
might kill you if you sneak in a spider, not on purpose.
Yeah.
Because, oh, a spider, smack.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyone who's played Baldur's Gate 3 knows that you can get into some weird things with druids.
Jeez. Okay. Well, at the end of the night or whatever, Acacius has made good on being a good filial son who has greeted all of the neighbors and has made a good impression as best as he can and tries not to growl at anyone, even if they are standing a bit too close, as he doesn't wish to growl at his grandma again.
Sounds good.
You're so mean.
Yeah. My instinct at this point is that your sister is like away and doesn't show.
that would be my instincts as well.
Right. Yeah. That's the boring answer, but it feels right. So I think we'll go with that. Sorry, Hanan.
Okay.
You're
That's
the
fine.
high class adventurer.
Yeah.
Yeah, my big brother's here, I guess, so I'm gonna move 1,000 miles to be there now. Actually, bye.
Bye-bye. Great.
Monk speed gets you far, actually, but not that far.
So I assume we stay
what do you
an
tell-
appropriate amount of time at the to visit and consider it a visit
Yeah.
instead of just like,
Yep.
hey, we're grabbing our shit and leaving.
Yes, there was a whole celebration thing before the grandmother approached.
Yeah. Okay.
Multiple neighbors and community members came by with food, and you're all stuffed if you want to be. And
Oh,
some
yeah.
of you, those of you who passed Constitution rolls, could even be a little tipsy. Anyone who didn't pass the Constitution roll can't drink enough of it to get tipsy.
She wouldn't have anyway.
Yeah.
Now that she's got that book, that's all she fucking cares about, man.
Mhm. And then I guess the last thing I want to know is everybody wants to know where you've been and what's going on and what are you doing with your life at this point. And they don't just ask Acacius, they ask like, so you've been hanging out with Acacius, like how are things, what are you up to, like, so what do you guys present your lives as at this time?
Oh, yeah. No.
Small talk relating to life around the town. We don't have to go into details about like the crazy adventure stuff that we did, but the town that we lived in, there's like, regular life stuff that happened there. So that's where Hanan's going to go. He'll talk about it in vague terms.
Oh, jeez.
Jules, if there's any other more tasty alcohol there than the salt brine that they're offering,
Yeah, it comes out
then
later
yes,
though.
he will, once he's had a few, he'll tell a rousing tale about his rescue of that maiden from the clutches of Sicarius and other parts
The
where he
town
did some
square
fancy,
fight, as I like to refer to it as.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
okay.
other times when he did something heroic. He'll talk about those things.
Okay.
Not the time we threatened an old man.
No, not that.
Jesus Christ.
Acacius whispers to Jules as he passes to go chat with other people.
He's like, I'm not talking about that.
Cool. Okay. So there's enough people come through here to get, that a couple of them are going to roll decent on an insight check. And it's clear that you guys are collectively carrying a bunch of stress. That you are in the midst of something, that you're not staying long, that something is going on. I don't know who makes the roll, but
Roll
it's
D20, see
impossible.
who gets the lowest.
Yeah, it's impossible for like you guys to hide this for the whole night. And so you get some pointed questions about like, what are you doing now? Why can't you just stay? Why do you have to leave? Things along those lines.
How to disguise and leave.
Just start playing Leonard Skinner, Freebird.
For all those that are curious, have you ever seen the comet that passes by every 75 years or so?
Can you see it on the mainland?
Yeah, it's
you?
not visible from here, no.
Well, I'll tell you that there is a comet every 75 years or so on the island that I showed up at. And we had the honor of seeing it not too long ago. And that comet is alive. And that comet has given us a duty. Now, it seems far-fetched, sure, but aren't most things?
Hey, the gods walk the earth. They've seen it.
Yeah, there have been stranger callings for sure. But why you?
Why not me?
Because I don't want it to be you.
I didn't either.
Are you sure that this path is
Have you tried not being a hero?
I actively have
Basically.
tried not to, considering I hid behind Hep for most of the adventure.
That's funny because Hep would only say like the most complimentary things about Acacius.
Yeah, Jules too.
What do I
I
do? I
tried-
just
Lena is
stand
still
around.
reading.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hep has saved us all from a variety of different clutches of men and who have very strong arms, to say the least. But I assure you, if I had other options, I would have stayed. But I didn't.
Is Acacius closer to his mother or father?
His mother.
She embraces you, and like after a moment you realize she's sobbing,
Oh.
Mom.
and she says, I'm sorry, I'm happy that you're here. I don't I know, I can tell that something is going on. I can tell that you're this is not a coincidence that you turned up here now. I know you're something is happening. I hope you're well.
You're not wrong, but you know I can't explain. Just know that I have forged a way to always come back home. Referring
Do
to
so.
the
Come back.
circle that he's left.
Come back. Things are calm, and we can stay, and we can be in the moment.
Yes, Mom. If only you could convince Tira of the same thing.
She's. I have never convinced either of you of anything.
You would have far a better chance of convincing me of something than her, I will tell you that. You know that at least that much.
Even when we agree, it's because you agree with me, not because I made you agree with me.
Yes, Mom.
Maybe we're more similar than Tira and I are, but
Yes, Mom.
we're all our own forces.
Yes.
Anyway, I wish you the best of luck here. I wish you speed on your journey, and I wish you a quick return. And I please stay longer next time.
I will try. And once this is all over, as long as I don't get spirited off by one of these friends here, you should convince them now, or by Tira, I'll be here.
Don't worry,
She
we will bring him back.
pulls back. She pulls back with her hands on your shoulders, like to look at you, and she smiles. There's still like some tears on her face, smiling, and she says, "I know you will."
I'm gonna go say bye to Dad.
Yeah, you do that. If you'll excuse me, I'm gonna retire now. And she heads off towards your parents' bedroom.
Yeah. He just calls after, I love you.
I love you too, and I look forward to your return.
I look forward to returning.
Being
And then
returned. Don't say that.
I like
Mom.
being returned. That's essentially, yeah. And then he goes to say goodbye to his dad and extracts himself, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. Bit more informal, bit more like, a little light punch on the shoulder, jocular. It's like, oh, you seem like you got life going on. That's great. Be strong. A little bit less connected, but still good feeling.
Typical dad.
And you're extricated.
Extricated.
It's like scraping poop off his shoe.
Say, man,
He
I've
loves
been
his dad,
extricated.
but you have to think about that he's lived with them for a year and then he went away from them, right? But for his teenage years, they didn't know what his interests were until he was an adult.
Strange
You know?
situation.
Yeah. And so Acacius returns to the group and gives you guys the nod, you know?
Clear to depart.
Let's
Yeah.
wrap it up and blow his popsicle stand.
Let us roll.
Condon, you have a piece of paper stuck to the back of your neck.
Oh,
Wasn't me.
I wonder which one this was.
Which one? How many? Did you choose
well,
one? Be proper
he-
about it.
He reaches into his pocket, pulls out several pieces of paper.
Yeah, there's totally a phone number on it for some reason. You don't know what it is,
Yeah.
but yeah.
It's his sending runes.
Is a
Sending
phone,
stone.
by the
He has 5 sending stones.
Just sending runes. It's all great. And
Cool. So you
oh,
wrap that up, return to the mansion. Most of the items got through just fine.
Celine, we're leaving. Celine.
See, quick
We're leaving.
quick thing in the village. Could I have sold a few items that I don't need anymore? For like-
Not really.
half
Not
price,
not
or-
if they had any real value.
No,
it's
just
not
like
a high
cross-
economy
crossbow
place.
and stuff like
We've
that.
been hanging out in Waterdeep. Why would you sell that here?
Oh yeah, true.
Better off doing it in Waterdeep. Yeah.
I just want to do it like off to the side though, so if I can just sell a bunch of stuff.
Let's retcon it into the previous conversation about the
Sound-
magic item shop you guys visited.
Sounds good.
Well, I guess that was different characters, but it'll
half
work.
price?
Just go for it.
Just half price then.
Yep.
Do we have any treasure? Because I only have 52 for jewels.
I don't think we really had that much treasure for them.
Oh, we did end up getting
No.
treasure, but we spent it basically the beginning of the beginning of the campaign. We had a certain amount of money that we were each given.
Okay, I will.
Yeah,
The
and
fuck did we
like
spend it on?
the Shatterforce crew though didn't really accumulate much treasure. They had to put a gem on everything they wanted to keep, so they didn't keep
Oh,
much.
Celine has 230 gold, so
Yeah. So does Acacius.
so it sounds like Jules spent it.
Yeah.
I guess so. I have a bunch
But
of
That's really
200 for
50.
the character your level is not much. You didn't get to keep that much.
Okay,
Well, he had shiny bits that he was buying.
I have lots of cool magic items, but I got all this mundane equipment I don't need anymore, so. I'm gonna get rid of it.
Acacius doesn't exactly mind the loss of the creepy ass pipes.
Yeah.
He's like, I didn't want to put my mouth against these.
He's like, thank you, but also, why would you assume I want that near my mouth?
Thank you, but the eyes glow, and that's too much.
The
Too
3 was
much.
the perfect rule for sure. Okay, so you guys are back in the mansion, and the time has come to depart for the next adventure. There was some talk last time about when you would stop by Daggerford to check on Ixiom and Dosium. There was the year of the observations on that person. He was 1363. What you knew about them was he built like a walking machine and nobody knew how he managed to do it. It was corrupted by enemies and lost power. During the Second Dragon Spear War, which was in 1363, the demonic forces emerged from Dragonspear Castle and started invading the land, and it was armies and large forces from many places that fought them off. And that was in 1363. But there was some talk last week about showing up early and seeing what could be done before the battle where this all happened. So what are our thoughts on that? And when do we want to set the time
So-
drive to?
I want to clarify or ask something first. So,
Mm-hmm.
Ixiom and Dosium, did his walking machine die as it was going on to battle? Or
Yes.
was it unable to move? Okay, so it was dying. It died on the battlefield.
Yep.
See, that's what I thought the first time, and everyone made it sound like it was before, that it just didn't work when the
No,
battle
I thought
came
it was
around.
on the
No, it's on the battlefield.
Well, there's a reason why we wrote down 1362, because you wanted to do it before the war. That was
I
the
wrote
original
down
conversation
1363.
piece. So our original time we talked about Ixiom and Dosium, we had talked about going beforehand, which is what Jesse just mentioned, so that we could make it not work before the war. But now it's happened. So we should go not necessarily the day of, but like.
Well, see, I thought
We
before
have
the
to
war
get-
was like the day before.
Well, I mean, there's not a. I mean, whatever. We'll need to get the lay of the land. We'll need to know where it's being stored and what part of the battlefield it's starting from to know, like, to track it so we can actually be near it. So there's that level of
Mm-hmm.
things that we need to do. But we don't need to do too far in the future because we stand out.
What?
Yeah.
We stand out. We also probably should find a way to take some uniforms because it didn't sound like they saw people on the battlefield take the thing apart, just that enemies did. So let's grab enemy uniforms. Yay!
Did they? Sorry,
Enemies
did
in
they
this
take it?
case are demons. They are.
Let's pretend to be demons.
So yeah, watch. We'll have like uniforms that have like 4 or 5 arms, stuff like that.
Yeah,
Right?
let's skitter.
It's a hard outfit to arrange,
Yeah.
but yeah, let's see where
Let's
that goes.
skitter.
Follow that through.
I mean,
So-
it could work. Whatever.
You
They thought
can
demons.
totally set the time drive to like the day before. Like you've got a date. Let's assume that there's an actual day of the year, not just the year, right? Not sure what the date is right now, but let's assume there is one. You can totally set the time thing to like a day or two before, or a week before, or a month before, or whatever, or a year before. You have the lodestone in place. That will give you some information if you want it. But you could set it to any time you want there to gather some information.
Yeah, but a question for you though: if you set it too far in advance, we'd
Well,
probably end up burning valuable time then, right?
I mean, if you could set it to a certain time and then you could jump a little bit further ahead. But there is one complication with that, which is that you're constantly pulled towards the future. And so you need something to stabilize your timeline. If you stay in any timeline too much, or if you kind of fiddle around too much, you're gonna get pulled into the future.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So at the very least, it's better to go a little bit in the past than to shoot too far ahead. And given how the mansion worked, its portal can really pop up anywhere. So we don't need to be worried about where we're staying or anything like that. We just need to get a lay of the land about where things are going to occur. And the major concern I have is I don't know this off the top of my head, and Cora might know this. If demons have true sight, or devil sight, true sight.
Devils do.
Some types of demons do some of them have like true sight. I don't know. If we had a disguise, or if we were going under invisibility, we could become a casualty to the demons coming as well as this opposing army.
Smedley corrected. I have true sight. Those awful demons do not.
Wait, Smedley has true sight?
Yeah, 'cause he's an imp. They're devils.
No.
Yes.
What?
An
Imps
imp?
have true sight?
Do all devils have?
There's
true
no
sight?
way. They have dark vision. There's
That
no
seems
way they have dark
OP as
vision.
Vision,
hell.
passive vision, common, infernal. Let's see here. They are devils.
Yeah, but they wouldn't. That
Devil
would be devil
sight.
sight.
They have devil
Not
sight.
true
Dang
sight.
it. Yeah. All right. Never mind. Going back to sleep now.
Devil sight.
Mhm.
I was about to say,
Devil
like, that would be
sight-
OP as fuck if you get a familiar with true sight.
Pseudo dragons might. I don't know. Either way, devil sight is you can see through magical darkness. Cora has that currently. That's how she looked through the statues thingy.
Right.
Mhm.
But what do you guys think?
It's hard to say based on what's the right time to be there. I don't know.
What information do
We
you
could-
need to make this decision, and how would you like to
I would
find it?
Yeah. See, I'm almost thinking after the war.
Basically, during the
But-
battle.
Yeah, because we could see it go down
We take advantage of the confusion of the battle.
and take it exactly. And the lodestone would tell us which one it is.
Well, there's only one
I-
walking machine.
We don't have.
Well, where that is, right?
A lot of that stuff
That's
is
what-
going to be in the historical record.
Mhm.
Like if you like know that this thing existed, people will be able to tell you where it collapsed. Like this is in the civilized age on the Sword Coast. There'll be records of that stuff.
Not only where, but exactly when as well.
Pretty much.
So if we
I
pop
mean, it'll be
in,
anecdotal, but it'll be useful.
pop in a day before that happens, maybe. Get a fix on the area, get settled in, and then take advantage of the confusion of battle.
Yes. I mean, you already know my opinion, and you're along the same lines as mine, so.
Yeah.
So, where do you want to? So, first off, when you appear, you're going to appear in the yawning portal. Then you can move the door from there. And where you'd like to move the portal? Let me bring up a map.
Oh, a map. Haven't seen one of those yet today.
The map.
Eh,
On the map.
So this is the Sword Coast. Waterdeep is visible on here. Daggerford is actually closer than Dragonspear Castle is. But the Daggerford is where Ixiom Mendocium was stationed or worked. Dragonspear Castle is down by the High Moor, south of that. So it's a bit of a walk.
Yeah, I'd say. Is Daggerford and Waterdeep are what, like a day apart, 2 days apart?
Something like, yeah. So it could be like the better part of a week to get down from Daggerford to Dragonspear Castle on foot. Now you guys don't have to go on foot.
We have a druid.
Well, you can also
And we have a portal.
portal.
That's
Mansion
true.
door.
We do have a portal as well.
yeah. Oh yeah, and that.
Oh
And
yeah,
an
right.
archmage with tons of spell slots, and all he can do is move that thing around.
Yeah, that's what he's here for.
Yep.
He's our chauffeur.
Jeez.
Chauffeur who stays in his house.
That's his Uber. This is his house.
He's an arch Uber.
Mordenkainen's magnificent Uber.
Our arch Uber driver, yeah.
His unbelievable Uber.
So you
Okay,
could
so-
appear. I mean, I think there are some unknown questions that you guys might need to find answers to. But you could appear
Yeah.
at the castle. You could appear at Daggerford, where you believe Ixia to be stationed.
What will we learn in Daggerford that would
We
help?
should ask the other group to look for information as to where the final battle place was for Ixia. The actual location, mile marker wise, what area. And then you just find the place where the giant army is stationed.
The battle,
Or how
basically,
big.
a ton of demons emerged from the basement of Dragonspear Castle, took over the castle, and drove out the occupants, and were beginning a full-on incursion onto the Sword Coast. Many armies from different cultures formed to stop this incursion. Ixia and his creation, their entry into the battlefield was just north of Dragonspear Castle, about the area where those bumps and hills are. Yep.
So the question I have to ask then, historically, did the battle in which this Ixia walking machine fail end in defeat, or did it end in success?
So the war in general ended in
Good
success.
Yes, but this
second
particular battle.
Dragonspear, it was a long. There wasn't battles like that. It was an ongoing thing. So there were troops arriving, reinforcements from different places would enter the battlefield. There'd be progress made and lost. There was wounded being evacuated and dead being buried. So it wasn't. It was one long, multiple-month battle.
Okay, so what I'm fishing for is if there was anything other that happened remarkable on that day, on the time period in which this thing went down. Was there an unknown group, or was there unknown colors, or just everything was so chaotic that there was no way to tell?
Yeah, the battle was spread over a pretty large area. So no, there's nothing. There's no unknown group noted. There's no nothing of the sort. No, it's just chaos of battlefields that are multiple miles across.
Okay. We basically have free reign then. Once we take what we need, it's whether or not we wish to assist the people that this would have helped is up to us.
That's your read.
Say the rest of you.
I agree. I have slight issues as much as I would want to help people here. Again, we shouldn't change what happened.
I don't think our actions will change much. Nothing that was noted in history. As long as we are not overtly called out for being strange, we should be fine. There is many people there. So act according to your hearts, not according to something you don't know.
Fair.
And so the question is, if you have a D-Day that this event is supposed to be, when do you want to land?
They
I think we need to land with enough time beforehand to kind of reconnoiter and kind of get the lay of the land and possibly connect up with anyone who might be allied.
I do have a recommendation actually. imagine you are in the heat of battle and we're trying to figure out where the rod is on the walking machine. We might want to figure it out where it is beforehand so that we can
Right.
take it during.
Yes. Absolutely.
So it's just much easier. And it came from the north. Boop, boop, boop.
Yeah, it's in that group of hills.
So. This is the part where you guys have opinions.
I just want to stab things.
It's an opinion. Kind of pointed, but okay.
Pointed.
I don't know that we want to be close enough when it's still active that
Well,
It-
aren't we going to have to deactivate it?
no,
Like,
it
that's the
will deactivate itself, right?
no.
Something will
No,
happen that
we
will
do.
deactivate it.
It's us.
That's us.
It's us. Fair enough.
I mean,
Someone
that's
just
speculation, but
Yeah, but it's probably us.
It very well could be a rock in its footing, but it's likely us.
yeah, fun times, huh?
Yes.
So, in the event we are the ones who do that, how do we punch out, so to speak? We get this thing, we disappear, right? That's basically what happened.
So
Yes.
you got to put the door
Um,
somewhere you can get to.
Yeah.
Well, does it make sense to? Sorry, I just gotta. This little group of mountains is where it ends.
Mountains?
Yep.
These-
That there,
Hills,
yeah,
mountains, whatever they are.
this
Yes.
area here.
Yes.
So we know that's where we have to be at the end of the day. We have to be here.
Uh-huh.
It
Whether
begins
we do
here,
something
yes.
or somebody else does something, we have to be here. And then we need to be getting out of there as quickly as possible. And we know the demons are coming out of Dragonspear Castle, so probably not at Dragonspear Castle. End of the Misty Forest?
The only other thing I can think of is if, well, wait, is the creature that attacked Mr. Surname whatever, I don't remember his name. Cora probably should, but I don't. The barkeep guy?
Durnan.
Durian.
Durian?
Sorry.
Durnan.
Durnan.
Durnan. I was like, the fruit?
Yeah, darn it.
I already don't recall, but is the creature that attacked
The
Durnan
Rennie's demon, probably.
as a demon?
Yeah, it's the one we
So
met.
who's
right?
to say that she hasn't tracked this one? And she's there.
Seems pretty likely she's going to be there.
There's nothing to say that.
So just, I guess, be prepared. There's always a chance of anything. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, a week, 3 days, a day.
What's the argument against just putting the portal right over this mountain area?
It's more a question of when.
Like
One day before the date you know that things go wrong, or before that?
Definitely before, but
yeah.
I would say 3 days.
D-3. Okay, and you're going to appear in the yawning portal, because that's always where the door appears. And then you can kind of shift from there. But it's going the time is what we need to decide first. So D-3 is that answer.
Yeah.
No one else is saying one, so I'm assuming yes.
No,
Yeah.
no, I'm
Yeah.
okay with
I
that.
don't know really what the concerns for time are. Are we gonna prepare the area to fight something? Or
You've got 3 days to basically figure out what's going on before you have to do the job.
Yeah.
So,
If you do this,
as much time as possible seems to be the best option, right? I can't see any reason
well,
why not to do that.
you could just hang out from here and wait 30 years or whatever,
But
27 years.
What are we waiting for? Do we have something else that we need to do, or someone needs to read a book? I suppose.
There's
Shabaka,
that.
give me a time frame between 3 and 10.
Like, how many days do you want? Because like it does, every day that you're in the past is like a day that goes by in the future as
Wait,
well. That's the
Why are
time
we
pressure.
even? Why are we
Oh,
even
I see.
staying for
Okay.
multiple days?
Yeah, we
I
could
get it
just
now.
Dump
go
us
the
in the
day
day
of the battle.
before,
I get it.
or the
now.
day of. Yeah.
Day before gives us time
Right,
to
and go
check
into it
around
blind.
and prepare. Yeah, let's say day before then.
I think
We can afford a day, I think.
sure. Choose a time. I'm losing my patience.
I said day before.
You chose
Do you
time.
vote day before?
Yep.
What's the group consensus on that?
Yep. That's cool.
Day before works.
D-1. Okay. 1 day before this. Any objections before we?
Nope.
Carried. Okay. The 1 day before the door opens into the yawning portal, and it is a different mood than has been there before. There is clearly subdued. There is not nearly as raucous of an attitude. There are more people with swords than usual and armor. Conversations are more hushed. Also, there are people there that are wounded. Different
Well,
vibe.
there is a war.
Hey, Durnan, what's going on?
Whoa. Well, look at you. I was wondering if you'd show up.
I'm sure
Things
it's a
here
relief.
ain't so great right now. Yeah, we're all kind of freaked out and scared, so yeah, why don't you, I don't know, here's your bottle, I guess. And he hands over the
Here you go,
bottle
Norm.
that he's been holding for you.
Thank you.
What's got everybody so worried?
The war.
Demon incursion, you know, the
Oh, right.
usual. Only not
Not so usual.
like this. This is much more serious than usual.
So how many wounded people are in here?
And where is it?
They're in different groups, so it's not like a group of wounded people, but there are people that are armed people, and say one person in 4 has some kind of injury. They're not all that bad. Some of them are bruises. Some of them are wrapped limbs that are just like bandaged. But there are some that are more seriously wounded.
So I would go
Probably
in
like
after.
6 in the room.
Okay. So I'll single out those 6 and do mass cure wounds on them.
That's that is well appreciated. Yeah, you get a couple
28
drinks bought for you for sure.
28 points to each.
That's great. It's not like there's not healing in this town. Like there is, but it's
Of
so
course.
busy that they
It's
can't
war.
get to everyone. It's war.
It's war.
War never changes.
Anyone still hurt?
After the mass healing word, no.
Okay.
If there is anyone whose armor or weaponry seems a bit like broken, Cora will offer to mend it with a mending cantrip.
Cool. Yep. Yeah, there's a few people who could use that. The same people, quite frankly. They're the ones who got hit.
Yeah.
Have we had a long rest since our last battle?
You have had a long rest, so
Okay.
this is new. But anyone who's using spell slots, keep track of them because
Okay.
the next
Yep.
long rest, we don't know yet.
Well, as we're at a day, I figure we might get at least one.
Yep. Oh, I did forget to mention, and you can do this before next session. But you have leveled up as well before
Okay.
as we go
Oh.
into this
Again?
To
Whoa.
12?
again. So 12. Yep.
Board?
Oh.
Ooh.
Do we level up the other group as
No.
well?
No.
Okay. I'm like, which one?
Yeah, they're on their own schedule.
Yeah, we leveled them up to recently.
Wait, we're talking about Acacius, or we're talking about Cora? You know, which one
Cora.
levels?
Cora levels.
Cora's 12 now.
Okay.
And
Okay.
what's the other group at?
They're still at 10.
Okay, got it. I am set. Woo!
Apparently, Hef doesn't gain much experience by taking books off shelves. I thought it would have been more.
Supposed to knock them off the shelf like a cat. But no. You leave that up to somebody
And
else.
Jules is already doing that.
Right. He'll show you the tactic. It takes a special twist of the wrist and then bat right off.
Right. And also, everybody remember to put aid into your hit points.
How many?
5.
5.
Oh, that reminds me.
Everyone.
For the other group, you guys get temp hit points as well as from Hanan, 9 hit points.
Nice.
It's just a consistent
Plus
thing.
Acacius's aid.
Yeah.
That's not temp, so it does stack.
Cool. So in the yawning portal, you've made some friends, cleaned up some wounds. You've got the anchor from Durnan. What would you like to do? Questions? Any other information you'd like to get?
Like, I'll ask him, like, where's this incursion, what armies are working against this incursion? Is there, specific people you've heard are involved, or is it liches or something like that?
Down at Dragonspear Castle, south of here, past Daggerford near the moors on the Tradeway. It's I've heard rumors that people have called for help, but the help hasn't arrived yet. I gather that armies are being summoned and that they're going to help, but I don't know. We're getting rumors only at this point. I don't know if that's working or not.
Interesting.
Here in Waterford, or Waterdeep.
Yeah.
We're yep. Here in Waterdeep, it takes a week for a rider to get here, or just about. Of course, there's lots of people who can send information faster than that, but they're very busy. They're not out there telling people like me what's going on. Most of my information's a week old.
So I assume the person he kind of indicates in the direction of the Blackstaff's castle or tower. That person is probably involved as well. Then.
Oh, I'm sure. We haven't seen much of our local nobles lately. He actually uses the word nobles, which is not common for Waterdeep people of this stature. They usually have some kind of derogatory term for their leaders,
not
but
today.
he's actually using a slightly honorific term here,
Yeah,
indicating the level of hope that he has that they'll help this
Be careful
situation.
because the foot you step on now may be connected to the ass you have to kiss later.
Yeah, yeah, and really, their value. He's really hoping that they prove their value here. But then, like I say, they're not out here like, talking about what they're gonna do. Not to someone like me who sits here and sells booze to injured soldiers and people who come through mysterious doors.
Or go into the portal.
Of which there are a few of them.
Yeah. I meant the yawning portal itself.
Yeah.
That
I got it.
enters the Underdark.
Yeah, there's no traffic into the portal right now. Like down the well, there's like it's not a thing. People who are like capable of doing that type of adventuring don't seem to be here right now.
They're busy.
So, there's not much more you're gonna get out of the yawning portal.
Let's
Where
move
would you
on.
like to move the door? You're still 23 and a half hours before.
I'm thinking, either on the edge of the misty forest or no, edge of the misty forest or those mountains. But
Yeah, these mountains seem.
I expect there will be a lot of stuff going on there, and whatever we're gonna do it, and then want to try to move away as quickly as possible so that others aren't there, right?
Yeah.
All right, so here then.
That's where I would my 2 bits.
Sure.
The very tip of the misty forest.
Is that like close travel wise to here?
There's no scale on this map, is there?
I have a new ability. I have a new ability.
Yeah.
I can cast a spell that can make us all into a misty form, and then we can travel really fast. But
Nice.
It takes a minute to transform back into yourself or into the misty form.
Should be fine.
Wow.
But I could do it for all of us.
That's cool.
What's the speed on it?
300.
Oof.
Wow. Yeah, that'll work.
But if there's a lot of wind, it can be problematic.
The weather outside is not particularly exceptional right now. It's not like storming or anything super windy.
What is it called? I can't remember what it's called.
Any objections to the southern tip of the misty forest?
I think.
For me.
No.
Then we'll go with that.
Nope, that's good.
Welcome.
Yeah, baby.
And I will drop. Rebecca will represent the group based on the Misty spell.
Yeah, we were flying air Chewbacca.
It's called Windwalk.
Mm.
Can I get it into here?
We used it before as Acacia Selena.
Yes, we did.
Hey.
Did we? I haven't cast it yet.
No,
No,
it was
no.
how we
In
got
the
to
other
one of the
campaign.
locations and shattered.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's right. I remember that.
Cool. And with that, we will call it here tonight and
Oh.
take it up with the advance on the high moor and the walking.
Of wind.
Yeah, the walking of wind and the Earthshaker, built by Ixiom and Dosium.
How do we how do you get the spell to come over into the chat now? Or is that not a thing anymore?
I don't
no,
think that's a
yeah.
thing to show the
Yeah.
spell. No. If you like roll it, is there a roll with it or something like that?
I'll cast it and see. Anything appear? No.
Nope.
No. I'll just undo that.
Guess we have to use the search feature. Cool. Okay. Well, next time we will explore this area further and see where it goes.
Cool.
So here's something for everyone to be aware of. I'll just put it in there because I'll probably end up forgetting once in a while.
Ooh, that's handy.
Or of devotion.
Yeah.
Oh,
Conscious friendly creatures.
that's really handy.
Within 10 feet can't be charmed. Nice.
I love that. I love that for us.
Everyone hug him.
Yeah.
No one
Yep.
move away from
Sasha
him.
was
For
bugs.
dogs.
Walking in a tight group from here on. Yep.
Yeah.
Fallon, for sure. That's why I send Wolf Hum with
Yes.
Fallon, because I'm like, at least I can do cover spell. Ah.
Cool. Well, thanks everybody. And
Thank
yeah,
you.
Dude,
there.
See you all next week.
we
and,
survived another week.
Thank you for
Yes.
watching,
You
those who are watching, and thanks for the subscription, by the way. That's
Mhm.
nice.
Awesome. You
And-
survived a family dinner. Yes,
Yeah.
congratulations, everybody.
God
One
bless.
family dinner survived.
Yes. Well done. All right.
Mhm.
And I am going to jump to an outro. Bye.
There was no way, no light in sight, no one to hear the final fight. An epic thunder over the town, the earth was shaking when you lost your crown.